I think the biggest benefit that we've seen is the ability for the data that the field service engineers are putting into their service work orders, having that immediately available to the management team back in the home office. So as our engineers are actually doing the work on the instruments, we're real time able to see how that work is going, how many hours they put into the work, where the bottlenecks are, where they're having issues. So, in the sort of old days before cloud computing, it would take a few weeks for them to actually fill out work orders, tell us how much time they've spent, and get that back entered manually into a home office system. All that can be facilitated with ServiceMax. I think some of the biggest time savings we've seen with ServiceMax have been around the data entry. When an engineer is completing a work order, in the past, we would have to have someone actually key in that data into an ERP system in order for the invoice to be generated to the customer. Whereas now, that FTE can actually be reduced, if not eliminated, because all that information is actually going to be fed real time into the ERP system, eliminating the need for someone to actually manually do all that data entry. So I'd say you could actually reduce an FTE by maybe 50% with ServiceMax. If a friend were to come to me and say, you know what, Savitra, I'm looking at either implementing, say an Oracle on-premise service and support application, or I'm looking at ServiceMax, I would basically ask them, why would you want to devote all that time and all that energy into worrying about servers and hardware and all the things you have to devote all that energy to when you have an on-premise solution? Why not just go to ServiceMax, work with them? You still are going to have to do, your process work, but so much of your time savings can actually occur when you're not having to worry about all of the infrastructure that you're going to have to worry about if you do an on-premise system. The development team at ServiceMax has just done a great job, raising the bar and actually doing a lot more with Flex technology and a lot of other tools to automate the implementation of ServiceMax as well as the ongoing management of the application. The biggest surprise during the implementation was how easy it was to learn how ServiceMax actually functions. Once you understand the objects and the tables in Salesforce, you can immediately apply that to ServiceMax. I've had the opportunity to implement ServiceMax both at a large multinational company as well as a startup. I think what has been great working with the ServiceMax team is just how great they are in terms of their knowledge of the product, their turnaround, and their support.